Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. So in this particular slides, we are going to learn about 4 different processes which are shaping, planning, broaching and sewing. The picture show an example of broaching processes. Now we are going to go into detail for each of these processes. Shaping and planning. Okay, basically shaping and planning are similar operations. If we look at the schematic diagram as shown in the figure A and figure B, you can see they have similar operations. It is fair to say that it is about the same. Okay, both involving the use of single point cutting tool which move linearly relative to the work part. In conventional shaping and planning, a straight flat surface is created by this action. The difference between the two operations is in shaping, the speed motion is accomplished by moving the cutting tool. So the workpiece is static, the cutting tool is moving back and forth. While in the planning process, the speed motion is accomplished by the moving of the work part. So the workpiece is moving back and forth and the cutting tool is static in the static position. Okay, so it is actually moving forward, cutting, and then goes back to the starting point and cut again another certain amount of depth of cut. Okay, cutting tools used in shaping and planning are a single point. So you can see similar to turning process, it is a single point. So it is different from the milling process whereby milling process has many teeth. Okay. Shaping is, this is an example of a shaping machine. So shaping is performed on a machine tool which is called shaper. Okay, the components of shaper include a ramp which moves relative to a column to provide the cutting motion, and work table. So this is the work table that holds the workpiece and accomplish the feed motion. The motion of the ramp consists of a forward stroke. So it's moving forward to achieve the cut. And then return stroke during the tool is lifted slightly. So after finish one line, the tool will be lifted slightly and then goes back to the starting point or return stroke to clear the work and then reset for the next pass. On completion of each return stroke, the workable is advanced laterally relative to the ramp. Okay, feed is specified in millimeter per stroke. The drive mechanism for the ramp can be either hydraulic or mechanical. Hydraulic drive has greater flexibility in adjusting the stroke length and more uniform speed during the forward stroke, but it is more expensive than a mechanical drive unit. Both mechanical and hydraulic drives are designed to achieve higher speeds on the return or non-cutting. So when it return back to initiate the new stroke, and then on the forward during the cutting process stroke, thereby increasing the proportion of time spent during cutting operations. Okay, on the right hand side is the planing machine, or we just simply call it as planer. Okay, cutting speed is achieved by a reciprocating work table that moves the part past the single point cutting tool. So the work table move reciprocating, okay, move back and forth. The construction and motion capability of a planer permits much larger parts to be machined than shaper. So you can see the difference between shaper and planer. In planer, actually you can cut a bigger workpiece. Planers can be classified as open side planers or double column planers. Okay, the open side planer also known as single column planer. Okay, it has single column supporting the cross rail on which the tool head is mounted, as in this picture. So you can see the column and the single head tool head is mounted on the column. So this tool head can also be mounted and fed along the vertical column. So the other machine is actually can be mounted on the vertical column rather than the horizontal column. Multiple tool heads permit more than one cut to be taken on each parts. At the completion of each stroke, each tool head is moved relative to the cross rail or column to achieve the intermittent feed motion. The configuration of the open side planer permits very wide work parts to be machined. So that's why bigger parts can be machined with planer. A double column planer has two columns, okay, on one on either side of the base and work table. Okay, the columns support the cross rail on which one or more tool heads are mounted. So it is not shown in the picture. I suppose on here. No, this is the handling. In this picture, only one tool head. So in double column planer, you can actually have two or more tool heads mounted on the columns. The two columns provide a more rigid structure for the operation. However, the two columns limit the width of the work that can be handled on the machine. So if you have two columns, the parts will be smaller that could be handled by the double column planer as compared to the one side planer or single column planer. So shaping and planing can be used to machine shapes other than flat surfaces. However, the restriction is the cut surface must be straight. Okay, so this allows the cutting of grooves, slots, gear teeth and other shapes. So it also permits different shape. However, the surface must be straight. So it cannot be in angle or at certain angle. So it must be in the straight cutting surface. Okay, however, it can also cut different profiles such as V-shape, groove, okay, square groove, T-slot, dovetail slot and even gear teeth. Okay, so we have completed with the shaping and planing. Now we go to broaching. Okay, broaching is performed using a multiple teeth cutting tool by moving the tool linearly, okay, relative to the work in the direction of the tool axis. So the cutting tool move, okay, linearly on the surface of static workpiece. So the broaching tool has multiple teeth. So if you want to compare with shaping and planing, which has single tool, you can see about the similar operation whereby the cutting tool move forward one stroke to remove the material. However, in broaching, the cutting tool has more than one teeth. So it is not a single point cutting tool. Thereby, at one stroke, it can actually cut more than a deeper depth of cut. Okay, the machine tool is called a broaching machine, which I will show later in the next slide. The cutting tool is called the broach. Okay, advantage include good surface finish, close tolerance and variety of work shapes. Owing to the complicated and often custom shaped geometry of the broaching, tooling is expensive. So it depends on the depth of cut and the profile of the surface to be cut. It will give it. We need a different broach or broaching tool to perform the cutting of that particular geometry. Thereby the tooling is expensive. So broaching has two different types of processes, which are external broaching and internal broaching. So external broaching is performed on the outside surface of the work to create a certain cross-sectional shape on the surface. as compared to internal broaching, is actually accomplished on the internal surface of a hole in the pipe. So internally. So you can see from the figures. The figures A shows all example for the external broaching, whereby the cutting operation happens at the external perimeter of the profile or shapes. However, for the internal broaching, it is for internal shape, okay, without changing the external shapes of the geometry. Okay, so can you differentiate between figure A and figure B? Okay, this is an example of broaching process. I suppose both figures shows for the internal broaching process. Okay, the basic function of a broaching machine is to provide precise linear motion of the tool past a stationary work position. So the workpiece in a static position. But there are various ways in which this can be done. Okay, most broaching machines can be classified as either vertical or horizontal machines. The vertical broaching machine is designed to move the broach along the vertical path, while the horizontal broaching machine has a horizontal tool trajectory. Most broaching machines pull the broach past the works. Okay, so it is pulling, not pushing, but pulling the broach past the workpiece. However, there are exceptions to this pull action. One exception is a relatively simple type called broaching press. Okay, so in the broaching press, rather than pulling action, we are actually pushing the broach or pressing the broach. So normally for internal broaching, the pushes of the tool through the workpiece. Okay. Another exception is a continuous broaching machine, in which the work parts are fixtured to an endless belt loop and move past a stationary broach. So there is also condition whereby the broach is in static position. However, the workpiece is moving at a continuous moving path, which is called a continuous broaching machine. Because of its continuous operation, this machine can be used only for surface broaching, so for external use only. Okay, not for internal broaching. Okay, the last process is sewing. Sewing may be the most easiest process because it is already common for you to see the sewing process. Sewing is a process in which a narrow slit is cut into the work by a tool consisting of a series of narrowly spaced teeth. Okay, so the same with the hacksaw. Okay, remember the handsaw. Okay, or we call it hacksaw or handsaw, whereby you have a narrow slit, normally thin cutting tool, okay, and a series of narrowly spaced teeth. So there are many teeth, narrowly spaced teeth. Sewing is normally used to separate a work part into two pieces. So we use handsaw to cut one piece of work part into two pieces, or cut off an unwanted portion of a part. So sometimes we cut into two pieces workable work part, okay, two valuable parts, or we can also cut unwanted portion. So one piece we are going to use and the other piece as a waste. These operations are often referred to as cut-off operations. So when we separate the two pieces together, we call it as cut-off. Okay, doesn't matter whether the separated work part, we want to use it both, or the separated work part would be one is waste and one is the wanted piece. Okay, there are three basic types of sewing. Okay, it is classified according to the blade motion. Okay, the first category is called hack sewing. The second one is band sewing, and final one is circular sewing. So the operation is still sewing, cutting off one piece of material into two parts. However, due to the different types of sewing or blade, it is categorized into three different categories. Okay, the first category is hack sewing. Involves a linear reciprocating motion of the saw. This method of sewing is often used to cut off operations. Maybe when you were in lab, when you was in your first year, you have used this machine to prepare sample for whatever experiment that you plan to do in your manufacturing practice. So the cutting tool is moving, reciprocating right and left. Okay, so the first one direction is the cutting stroke, whereby the cutting operation happens, and the other opposite direction will be the return stroke, whereby no cutting operation. It needs to goes back to the initial point before cutting stroke happen again. So cutting is accomplished only on the forward stroke. So one stroke, the return stroke, no cutting operation. Because of this intermittent cutting action, one cut, one without, intermittent, hack sewing is inherently less efficient than the other sewing methods, both of which are continuous. So in hacksaw, only cutting stroke perform the cutting operation, return stroke does not perform the cutting operation, so it is less efficient. Even so, it is still widely used in cutting the workpiece, okay, in the cut-off operations. The second category of sewing is called band sewing. Involves a linear continuous motion using a bandsaw blade. So it is in the form of blade, continuous blade. As compared to just now, one linear blade. This is also linear, however, it moving continuously. Okay, not only in one direction, right to left, but moving continuously. Okay, made in the form of endless flexible loop. So in the form of loop with teeth on one edge. So only at one edge it has teeth, at the other edge without any teeth. So the sewing machine is a bandsaw. The sewing machine is called bandsaw, which provides a pulley-like drive mechanism to continuously move and guide the bandsaw blade past the workpiece. So bandsaws are classified as vertical or horizontal bandsaw. So you have bandsaw in the vertical, okay, vertical direction or horizontal direction. Okay, so cutting only happen at the blade which has the cutting teeth. Circular sewing use a rotating saw blade. So it is not in the form of single blade, okay, or loop blade, but it is in the form of rotating saw blade to provide a continuous motion of the tool past the work. So as the tool passing the workpiece, it performs cutting operation. Circular sewing is often used to cut long bars, tubes and similar shapes to specified length. The cutting action is similar to a slot milling operation, except that the saw blade is thinner. So similar like slot milling, but milling cutter tend to be thicker as compared to the saw blade. So it contains more than one cutting teeth. Okay, however, it is thinner than the slot milling cutter. Circular sewing machines have powered spindles to rotate the saw blade and feeding mechanism from the work table to drive the rotating blade into the work table. Okay, so the circular blade is in rotation, rotating, speed motion, and the feeding comes from the workpiece to perform the cutting operation. So these are the examples of sewing machine. So on your left top picture is the hacksaw. Okay, so one blade, only cutting at the cutting stroke. Upon the return stroke, there's no cutting operation happen. Okay, left down figure is a bandsaw, okay, which is a vertical bandsaw. So the blade is in the form of loop. So it's only cutting at the edge of blade which has multiple teeth, okay, not at the other end. And the figures in right hand side, both pictures show the circular bandsaw. Okay, maybe you cannot see clearly the teeth from this picture, but there are multiple very narrowly spaced teeth. Okay, so that's end this chapter, which includes the shaping and planing operation, the broaching process, and also the sewing process, which has 3 different sewing processes, which are hack sewing, band sewing, and circular sewing. Okay, that's all. Thank you all. Bye.